Welcome to the Victory in Biz Accountability and Success Call. I'm so happy to have my fellow achievers here. Another day, another Monday for us to get pumped, get ready for a great week. And today I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently than usual. I am going to first talk a little bit, and then we will go ahead and do our accountability, because what I'm talking about is also going to lead into a little bit of a roundtable as far as a question that I have for everybody. So everyone good with that? A little bit of I get to chit chat first, and then we will go around and we will share. So today I really want to talk about the power of consistency. And I know I'm always preaching to the choir when I'm doing these calls. I always feel like the people that are here are the people that are doing the things, right? You are here, you're showing up, you're being consistent, and it's important. Why? You've heard me talk before about building confidence, right? And I always say it's in accountability to yourself. It's in showing up for yourself. It's in proving to yourself that when you make a promise to yourself, that you are going to actually go through with that promise. You're going to actually do the thing that you said you were going to do. And your subconscious picks up on that right away. And that is how you build your confidence and your belief in yourself. Now, when we are consistent, doesn't matter with what it is, whether it's in business, in personal development, in our friendships, our relationships, that is when we level those things up. That is when we take them to the next level. And that is also when we prove to ourselves that we deserve to be successful, right? So it's kind of that snowball effect of when we can be consistent and we stick to the things that we say we're going to do, that we are building that confidence in ourselves, and we are building because we are deserving. Everybody here feel deserving, right? Deserving to win, deserving to be successful, deserving to have the relationships, deserving to have the life, deserving to have the money, right? We deserve it because we believe in ourselves. We are difference makers. Every single person on this call is a helper. You make a difference in the world with what you have to offer. Every one of us rise in the face of adversity. Who here has never struggled, right? No. We all have had our struggles, our trials, our tribulations, but we're still here. We're still standing. We're still showing up. We're still doing the thing. You know the power of consistency. And I just want to reiterate that today. I just want to bring our awareness to that again today. And I know, you know how Robert preaches, and I always bring him up because, he mentors us all. He preaches consistency in your marketing. Do your 5 outreaches every day. If you just do 5 every day, how long does that take? Maybe 10 minutes, maybe not even 10 minutes. Do your 5 reach outs every day, and you will consistently see your following growing. You will consistently see people coming into your funnel, into your business, into your circle. And again, I'm preaching to the choir. Winning is not about just having a good day, right? It's not about I'm having a good week. It's not about good luck. Every now and again, we have a little luck, right? It happens, but you can't have the luck if you're not showing up to be there to receive the luck, right? The thing that's happening. So it's about sticking it out. It's about grit. It's about commitment. It's about being in it for the long haul. What are you doing daily to move the needle forward, right? How do you keep momentum building in your business? What are the things that you are doing? When we take consistent action every single day to grow, we build the knowing inside of our subconscious that we're good enough, that we deserve success, right? Just like I said before, we are the people who, when someone else is goofing off, we pull up the calendar. We see what we have to do today. We show up no matter what. We're there. And that is how we build that success mindset. How do you build your success mindset every day. There's so many different ways we can do it. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you, sweetie. We're just talking about consistency in your life and in your business and how important that is for you to build a winning mindset, right? So sometimes when we're feeling unworthy, then we don't do what it takes to reach our dreams, our goals, the things that we really, really want in our lives. So how do we stay out of that unworthiness mindset? By taking consistent action. And action is the key here. I mean, we can visualize, we can meditate, we can do all those things, and we need to. That's important. But those things without taking the action is not going to get you where you need to go. It's not going to get you to that success that you deserve. So our actions and our goals needs to be in alignment with what is it that we want, with being consistent, right? You are a winner. We're all winners. So my question I have for you all today in our little go round, and if there's time left over, we will do goals for the week. But today I want us all to talk about what are the things that you are doing consistently, in your business. And then if you want to mention something that you do for self-development or in your life too, on a daily basis, that keeps that unworthiness mindset out of the way, keeps you growing and up leveling, and keeps you building and building and building confidence, building success. So who wants to start? David.
I'll go.
Hi.
For me, it's reminders, setting reminders. You know, on my Mac, I got this nice little tool. It's a reminder tool. Just put those reminders down and go off that list in the morning and look at them once I haven't done on, whether it's just taking my vitamin. I mean, and that keeps me consistent. Make sure I talk to this person, make sure I talk to that person. And so when I add these other things in my plate, I can set reminders and really know, can I add another thing to my plate, or do I need to just clear the stuff that I've got on it right now? Because a lot of us, I know me, I tend to stack my plate full of projects and different things, and none of it gets done.
Right.
And then to your other point about confidence, I've been working on this one for years, and I really figured out what it is. I'm not in competition with anybody. Everybody has the opportunity to better themselves and live the life that they want. Well, I do too. So why shouldn't I go for it? I'm not in competition with anybody. You know, if they think they're in competition with me, that's their issue. It's not my issue. No, there's never been a better time to success as an individual in the world with the technology and the opportunities we all have. So take advantage of them and go for it. It's not being selfish at all. And I know a lot of people sometimes, well, you're being selfish. No, I'm not. If I better myself, I become a lighthouse unto other people. They see, oh, Dave's doing so well. Well, maybe they'll look at me and say, you know what? If he's doing that, well, maybe I could do that too. Of course you could. I mean, I read the books on Mr. Marriott and Lee Iacocca and all these people who walk the path. And if you want to be successful, like Robert, walk the path. I mean, it's not, the path may be challenging, but it's not a difficult process. The process we have to overcome is ourselves.
Right.
And once we get through that, yep.
That comes back to consistency, right?
Absolutely.
Books, checking the schedule, and you're going to laugh at me, but I'll tell you what, that reminder tool, I cannot live without it. If my reminder does not go off, it does not exist. Okay, so it's a bit of a problem sometimes because, you know, every now and again, it happens occasionally that I forget to set the actual reminder. And if I didn't look at my schedule, and I'm, you know, because for me, I work by the reminders. They pop up on my phone. And that's next, that's next, that's next. But I think you made a valid point, actually going in the morning and looking at those reminders and going, okay, what does my day look like, right? I tend to do that the night before, but then sometimes when I get to the next day, I get so busy. If that alarm doesn't go off, that thing does not exist.
Right. And even putting on something on the calendar that says, okay, at 9 a.m., And I
Right.
spend the next 5 minutes and looking at my calendar, look at my to-dos, look at what I have, and block that time for yourself to do that. If it's 30 minutes to get yourself prepared and have your cup of coffee and have a piece of fruit or whatever it is to do and go through your lines, block that time out and don't be interrupted, because that's your time to prepare for the day.
Yes, thank you. And coming back to, I just want to add to one more thing you said, David, coming back to taking care of yourself and it not being selfish. I love to quote my mom, and I'll never forget my mom always used to say this. And it's just a very general statement, but it made so much sense to me. She always said, if we took care of ourselves and our own, then nobody else would ever have anybody to take care of. If we just took care of ourselves and our own little circle, our family, whatever it is, then no one else would need to take care of anybody. If everybody just did that. It's kind of a
It's
thought.
true.
Yeah, it's kind of a
It's a
fantastic.
great thought.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for sharing, David. Who wants to go next? What is the thing that you do daily, Sarah? Or the things that you do daily? You're muted, honey. Just go to the bottom left. Oh, you don't want to go right now? Okay.
Here we go. I'm on my phone. It's just a little bit different technology. I love the concept of each day, but I start on the Sunday prior. I always take a chunk of time to write out my week. It's on my phone. I have the reminders, but for me, energetically, I need to see how the week is going to flow and the parts that go along in that. And so I love what David said about the daily kind of a thing. So I have it all written out. I have a chance, and if something doesn't get done, I circle it. And that just lets me know that I need to rethink that part. Either there hasn't been time for it, or it didn't become a priority in that particular place I thought it was going to be. But I love that the concept of consistency is such a vital, important part of what each of us are doing.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Absolutely. It took me a while to really, really understand that. And it's funny because, hey, as a dancer, right? Consistency in class, being there every day, doing the pliés every day, doing the kicks every day, that's consistency. Get better and better and better as you go. But then applying it to everything in life is a cool concept, right? That's how we gain mastery, is by repetition and consistency. All right, who wants to go next? Thanks, Sarah.
I'll go. Yeah, so I think the one thing that I do, this is a terrible area for me. I have a long way to go. I'm a software guy, so I use software, right? So I have a piece of software that I use. It has 4, they call it hit list items every day, right? So they're like 4 hit items. They're supposed to take anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes to do. They're not like check the box things. They're actually important things that you need to focus on, not like do this meeting, do this call, whatever. It's like, hey, like finish this funnel or do this payment, something like that. So I used to be very hard on myself if I didn't get those done, but then I've like learned to like, okay, even if I only get 3 done one day, and then I end up doing 5 the next day, like, okay, got it all done, right? But one thing I will say, and even David, you brought this up too, like I think where I fall short a lot is doing something not consistently enough before I start to see the results of it. Because it's like planting a seed, right? Like you don't plant, like there's corn all around my house. They don't plant it and then harvest it in like a week, right? It takes like all summer to grow. So I think that's one area I fall short of. I'll do something for a couple weeks and then I start to not see results for it. And then I tend to be like a squirrel and I'm like, oh, I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do this. So I'm like, I'm getting better. At least I realize that about myself. But yeah, just like coming down to like checklists of things that like, okay, if I just do this, like you said, the 5 outreaches every day, social media posts every day, like whatever, something simple that I can, like you said, like it's that simple building that builds that confidence of like, oh, even if I just did one thing, if I just posted like a little sentence on my Facebook page, like that's one thing, like I can be proud of that. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
It's
Doesn't
that
have to be anything huge.
Yeah, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves a lot of times to be like, oh, I need to do these 80 things in one day because that's what Gary Vee and all those guys are doing. It's like, that's ridiculous. Like you have to build up to that point, So
Yes, and again, I think it's also things that compound, the small things. It's like when you have multiple projects or multiple businesses or multiple programs. I always say to my clients, get one to run like a well-oiled machine. You can work on the others in the background, but get one to really perform and do well before you really move on to the next and the next and the next. And then eventually you have this library or you have this big amount of things that are going on, but to try and get everything to work at once. And valid point, Dan, I think a lot of us, including myself, tend to quit too easily. You know, what's that thing about mastery? You have to repeat a thing 10,000 times before you can be a master at it. How many of us go that far, right? How many of us keep that in mind? And Kim does, or she has something to say about it. But yeah, how many of us actually stick it out for those 10,000 reps, right? Before we understand that now we can see the mastery, we can see the results. Consistency, consistency, consistency. And it also doesn't help if you do a thing for 5 hours on one day and then you touch it again for 2 months and then you do 3 minutes, and you know, it's like working out or brushing your teeth, right? You got to do it consistently.
yeah.
Whether it's every day or every week, like Sarah said, she likes to do her Sundays, but it's consistent. Awesome. Kim.
Hi, so I'll qualify my hand raising. There are certain areas in my life, yes, because I've had a business for almost 40 years. Oh my God. And then other areas, I'm doing what everybody else has mentioned. I like looking at my week. I like looking the night before, and I'll do a little summary list so that I can be with where I'm, and then I'll come down and check in the morning, just to make sure my recall is accurate and bring myself present again. There was something that you said about compounding, which the order in which we do things and the intentions and the way that we do them, which can be giving ourselves space, it can be more focused, it can be a variety of things, creates, I think, a greater compounding effect for a day, a week, a month, a year. And I hadn't quite registered with it that much as in this moment. I'm finishing up I've got all of a sudden 3 wedding orders. One's really, really big, and I need to finish it today and get it out. And just giving myself the grace of space. And also, I went to a birthday party last night, and she tends to be a very eclectic human being and has amazing people, and I got asked to present. So I presented being 4 that I presented at the Peace Lines Conference in Washington. And the feedback for that, really I'm seeming to receive deeper and be okay in me now than before. And because it's time. And so one of the other consistent things is all the progress that I'm making with my health is really thank you, Sarah, doing the due diligence every day. And it's been probably a lifelong thing, and over 15 years from the head injury in a car accident, head and neck injury. So it's this diligent, avid pursuit with the grace of space, I would say.
Absolutely.
And much more clarity as things clear and heal. And so
Wonderful.
I'm very grateful.
Thank you. And congratulations. I'm so glad your health is doing so much better. Just to add to your point on the order in which we do things, I think in the end, it just comes down to prioritizing and understanding where our priorities need to be. And sometimes those have to shift for things that come up that we have to create in the moment or quickly or on the whim, right? So also, yes, being able to be adaptable and adjustable at the same time as consistent. That's also key, And the health thing that you said, Kim, I'll come back to something that my mom was also going through a thing with her sciatica, and it's to the point where it's not painful, but it's a nerve that gets pinched, and then she can't use her left leg, but she's been doing her physical therapy exercises every day, and it works. So her leg works, but the moment she stops for like a week, it comes back. So it's like anything, we need to know which are the things that we need to be consistent about and what's important in our lives, what to focus on. Health, of course, is number one, because if we're not healthy, we can't be consistent in anything else. It's just not possible. Thank you, Kim. Larry, I don't know if you know how to mute over there. If you go to the bottom left side, if you click on your phone screen, you go on the bottom left side, there's a little microphone that's red. If you click on the red microphone, there
I did it.
you did it. Hi.
I can't believe I did it.
You did it, Larry. Hey, honey, welcome. Would you like
Thanks.
to share with us a little bit about consistency and what are the things that you do consistently to up level your business?
Well, I'm kind of a different kind of a cat. Mine is more on a spiritual level. So I do meditation for hours and hours and hours. And it kind of just downloads what I need to know that day. Or it will give me information that I need to help somebody with. So when I can't wait for them to come, so I say, okay, we got this new deal for you. And it always works, of course, because Source gives me the power to do it. But so I'm a newcomer to this technology stuff, as you know. But so this is great.
Awesome.
This is great.
Thank you for sharing, Larry. And I know this about you. I was like, oh, he's going to say he meditates every day. I know this. That's awesome. Fantastic. And then you take action, right? The
Yes.
information that you get, you share and you use that
Yes.
in your session.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. I think we are going to leave it at that today. I think that was really helpful. Everybody feel that was helpful? And I don't think there's a right or a wrong here. It's really about figuring out what works for you and what are the things that are moving the needle forward. Those things that we are doing consistently, where are they up leveling us? And of course, there's the self-development side, there's the family and friends and relationship side, and then there's the business side, and they all work together. You cannot separate one from the other. We need to really do our due diligence and be consistent in all of those areas. Have time to reach out to friends and family. For one, I call my parents almost every morning when I drive to work. That's my ritual. It's important. And when I didn't speak to now I don't get to speak to them every day, but the days that I don't, it feels different, right? But that sets me up for my day. That's my thing. And then I go and I sit and I do my 5 outreaches because my husband makes me. It's all good. By Sarah. Oh, you have to go, Sarah? What'd you say? Oh, yes. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. I love that. And actually, one of my old friends used to say, he's a concert pianist. He used to say, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. I'm like, true. If you practice something incorrectly, that's not going to be so perfect. So really look at what it is. What are those patterns that you are repeating on a daily basis? Take a little time and assess. Are those things that you are doing serving you? And are they moving you forward in the areas that you want to move forward? And just take a minute and reassess. And maybe even I sat down the other day and looked at my schedule, and I realized that there were certain things I should be doing that I weren't doing. And I added them in, and now it's like a new routine, right? Sometimes we have to revisit our routine and see, are those things that used to serve us still serving us? And if they are, great, keep it up. And sometimes we outgrow them and it's time to implement some new things. So I encourage each one of you this week to just go take 10 minutes Look at what are the things that you are doing for your morning routine, for your evening routine to set you up. What are those things you need to be doing consistently, and are you doing enough of it? All right. Well, thank you for being here. I'll see you again next Monday, same time, same place. Have a beautiful week and go do those things you need to be doing. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. I know.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.